Hello, as promised, I am back for my once a week video. Technically speaking, this is two. I just posted a live performance workshop video for my school, the Musicians Institute. It's a cover of Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of. I'm not a really big fan of those videos, mostly because I think that someone should put their original spin on a cover and not just like a karaoke track. There's nothing wrong with people that do that. I just, as an artist, I feel like I should do more than that. Or actually be performing it live. Both are acceptable in my book, but so I don't really like these videos I have to create for school. Technically speaking, I wouldn't have to make them public, but I don't see any reason not to. I am pretty excited. I recently got my tax return, and I have been saving up for a very special piece of gear for probably about a year and a half now, and I finally have enough money in my bank account to go ahead and get it, and that would be an Axe FX3. So I'm ordering Axe FX3 this week, and we'll be throwing that into our live rig. Speaking of our live rig, kind of want to give you a tour of our home studio and a little bit of our live performance setup for Disruptant. Okay, so let's jump right into it, huh? Starting with the top, we'll work our way down. Here we have a set of Cali Audio monitor speakers, and right under that is the Complete Control S88 with weighted keys here. It's a MIDI controller that has just been pretty awesome. Moving down to the rack, we have the Furman up here. Pretty much everything in the rack is plugged into there, and right under that we have our X18 Air. This one has been personally modified. I modified it by basically drilling out this hole, and I did that so that you could get to the power button, which is usually back behind this plate. It also gives you some place to put wires through if you need to, and it's just been a great modification. And since I modified the plate, I also took the wings in and I had them chromed at a metal shop. Right under that we have our positive grid bias rack. It's the 600 watt power version. In our live setup, this is primarily going to be our bass player's rig. We've set him up several custom patches inside of bias, and yeah, so this will be his main rig. This is probably one of my favorite units. I've had it for a very long time, but only recently got it back up and running. The guys over at Advanced Electronics here in LA did some repairs on it and got it back and running for me, and it's been great, and all their work is amazing. They also helped me get my multiverb, something I've probably had about as long as I've had the ADA. And it has an internal battery, and that battery died, and I couldn't replace it because they no longer make that battery. And so the guys modified it and made it so that I could get it back up and running. And so this has been pretty awesome. They also fixed my GT200 crate head, which is a solid state and tube amp. Um, Built-in 31 channel DSP, built-in chorus, just a really awesome amplifier head, and it's sitting on top of a 412 loaded with Celestians. Underneath there we have our main workhorse computer. I call it my workhorse because it's basically never off. It's mostly for my schoolwork. It goes on the internet. It has logic for classes I take at MI, and it also runs Reaper. And next to it is our audio interface. We run a Personas Audio Box 22 VSL. And then next to that is our main recording computer. This is a PC that was built specifically for doing digital audio. I put a i9-9900 in it for a processor, and I'm running 64 gigabytes of RAM. The other thing about this particular computer is it doesn't go on the internet. I run it in airplane mode so that it can't talk to the internet at all. And then anytime I need to do an update or something like that, I only take it off airplane mode long enough to download whatever additional plugins I buy or what have you. Yeah, we're running Reaper in there. And then the box on top of it is basically a switcher box, which allows me to run one keyboard and change out my monitor by the touch of a button. And so it'll switch between the two computers I have. And that's great. And I have a couple extra lines in the back, so when the band members bring their computers over, if they need to put that up on the big monitor, then we can do that as well. I run a Voice Live 2 Extreme. I like it because it has just any kind of effect a vocalist would want, and delays, reverb. It has a doubling effect. It has a harmonizer. It's any kind of thing that you'd want to do with a vocal processor, it kind of does. I think that's basically it. We have this 212 orange cabinet. It's the Jim Root model, and then I have my guitars. This is probably my main guitar, one I probably use more, mostly because it's the 7th string. It's got Friedman pickups, yeah, just been a really great guitar. This one's tuned to drop A, and then this one is probably the one I've had the longest, and it's an absolutely amazing guitar. Ibanez 550. I've had it for eons, and I remember when my guitar teacher first showed me this guitar, he said, "You want this one?" And I said, "No, I don't." At the time, it has faded quite a bit, but it used to be bright fluorescent yellow. And I'm like, I do not want a fluorescent yellow guitar. And basically, my guitar player, my guitar teacher said to shut up and play it. And so I did. I played it, and it played unlike any other instrument I've ever played or ever have since. Sometimes an instrument just comes together, all the right woods, all the right, I don't know, there's just some kind of magic in some instruments. It becomes a one-off. Even the same models don't play exactly like this one. And my music teacher, having worked in the music store that I bought this, had played all the guitars, and he's like, this is the one you want to buy. And so I did, and it's pretty much been the best instrument I've ever owned. What else? I think that's about it. If you want to talk about the microphones, we have, I use the Sennheiser E835 for my main stage mic, and the AT2020 here for doing recordings and stuff like that. Other than that, that's pretty much a rundown of everything we got. We're very excited, ordering that Axe FX3 by the end of the week, and very excited to get that into the home studio and see what we can do with it. Anyway, so if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button, and if I didn't completely bore you to death, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night.